Hell's Kitchen, Season 22, Episode 1 Review. That's right, good people. I'm back to share my thoughts on the latest season of Hell's Kitchen. And over the course of this review, I plan to share my thoughts on the overall episode, the participating chefs, and my predictions for the season. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. So Episode 1 starts off with the participating chefs arriving on set. They go inside, and my immediate thought was that this is one of the most diverse casts in Hell's Kitchen history. I know that some of the fans of the show may consider the season to be a little too woke for them, but I just want to see good chefs competing for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But the theme of this episode is achieving the American dream, and we get to see Oscar De La Hoya, Martina McBride, and Dia Simmons make the special appearance when greeting the cast. Gordon also joins them in sharing his American dream, and I must say that I was impressed that Gordon didn't have an over-the-top first introduction on the show, like he had in seasons past. But per the usual on Hell's Kitchen, all of the men are on Team Blue with Chef Jason, and the women are on Team Red with Chef Christina. The first challenge was the Signature Dish Challenge, where teams Red and Blue face off. And while a number of the chefs had great dishes, there were plenty of other chefs that failed miserably. When it was all said and done, the challenge came to a tie, and the tiebreaker came between Sammy and Ryan. Of course, the women won the challenge, and they got to hang out at the mansion for several hours, while the men had to unpack the supplies that arrived on set. The chefs were then given a menu notebook to study before the first Hell's Kitchen service, but several of them do not take the assignment serious, which in my opinion is an indication that we're in for a wild season. The episode ended in a cliffhanger, and there was no elimination. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the season opener a solid 5. It's clear that several of the chefs for the season were hired to make the show entertaining, but I didn't like how the episode ended in a cliffhanger. I think that we could have at least seen one elimination, but that's just my opinion. Now, in most seasons of Hell's Kitchen, the cast members can be divided into 3 groups. 1. The serious contenders for the finale. 2. Chefs that have some talent, but they may not be able to cut it as leaders. And 3. The comic reliefs that have no business being in the kitchen. When it comes to who I feel is part of Team 1, I think Sammy, Ryan, Jermaine, Danya, Jonathan, and Carmen are easily part of this group. They've had some of the best scores for their Signature Dish Challenge, and they look like they are here to make it far into the competition. When it comes to Group 2, I think that the overconfident Jason, the underconfident Melissa, Renisha, Otoya, Brad, and Matthias are definitely in that category. But I think that Melissa and Brad may have a good shot at moving up in the first group if they develop that competitive instinct. But when it comes to the folks that are certified locks for elimination, I have to say that Lee, Demir, Ted, and Claudia will not be on the show for long. Lee bragged about how much she cooked salmon, but she burnt the skin and overcooked her salmon for the signature dish. Demir not only served Gordon box pasta, but his food was bland. And in my opinion, if he couldn't nail his signature dish, he won't last long in the dinner service. Claudia is not only visually stunning, but she's thicker than cold Rotel dip. But she completely screwed up her own dish, and she laughed at everything that Gordon said about it, which in my opinion was pretty goofy of her to do. And Ted simply needed to go to a Harry Potter marathon and stop wasting his time on Hell's Kitchen. Him being there is a complete joke. But that's just how I felt about the season premiere, and I would like to know what you all thought about the episode. Feel free to leave all comments below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.